Hey everybody, Ketwolski here, checking in with another one of our hashtag Star Trek Discovery Discussions videos. Today we're going to be touching on a quick controversy that's kind of slowly brewing between an indie gamer known as Astronaut, who's coming up with his own concept of a game, and the Star Trek Discovery creative team. There seems to be a lot of similarities between this game that was launched, or excuse me, that was announced a couple of years ago, and what we're seeing currently in episodes of Star Trek Discovery. So before I share my thoughts and opinions on whether or not this is something that should actually be concerning, I'm going to go ahead and review some of the evidence that has been put forth up until this point. So if you pop on over to the Astronauts, the guy who's developing this game, his blog post, he juxtaposes a lot of information from Star Trek Discovery and his gameplay trailers that he's released over the years from a game called Tardigrades. Now, you guys may be familiar with the term tardigrades if you're watching Star Trek Discovery or if you're into that kind of stuff science-wise. But tardigrades have been around literally forever. They're known to survive a million different types of destructive forces. They've been known to, be around for forever. And tardigrades themselves were discovered, I think, around 1773, according to Wikipedia that I just read. And we've, seen them in different forms of entertainment, but we haven't exactly seen them in science fiction in the way that they were presented in Star Trek Discovery. Or so I thought. So when you look at some of the gameplay trailers that this guy released for his game called Tardigrade back in 2014, we are seeing a man who's traveling around the galaxy with the use of a giant blue tardigrade. Not only that, is the activation of this tardigrade's, capability to travel around the entire universe has the exact same visual style as the spore drive that we see in Star Trek Discovery. And it's not... I feel like it could be a coincidence, but it's very close to not being a coincidence. In this game, we have an individual whose name is Carter, who's a botanist, and he goes around the galaxy, supposedly zipping around with the use of a giant blue tardigrade, almost identical to the way that the USS Discovery is using a giant blue tardigrade inside of a spore drive to zip around the galaxy at, super fast speeds. So that's very, 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 very weird to have those things together. When you see these images, which I have here on the screen for you guys, kind of juxtaposed together, it's a little weird. It's a little strange. And this isn't to talk about the fact that CBS has definitely censored people for way, 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 way less kinds of intellectual infringement on their properties. They've called me and contacted me personally on several occasions to go ahead and remove certain things that were infringing upon their creative genius behind Star Trek. So it's not just, like this is a one-time off situation. CBS is widely known and criticized by fans for freaking out about people stealing their stuff. So for them to flip the script and do it to another person, it's a little hypocritical on their part. Even if it is just a giant coincidence, they've freaked out over way less information. The next thing I want to go ahead and show you is some of the characters that the guy made up, this astronaut guy put in his game, are very similar to the visual styles of the characters we see in Star Trek Discovery for the Federation crew. This one isn't as jarring to me because, well, the norm now is to have an extremely diverse cast of, gay people and transgender people and ethnic minorities and all this other stuff. You want to have a diverse cast. Star Trek is known for having a diverse cast. So it's not so weird to have these things kind of related. So I feel like that one is a bit of a coincidence in terms of their similar styles. Not nearly as bad, as damning, I should say, as the tardigrade comparisons. I also went ahead and tweeted at the guy, an astronaut, who goes by the name of Anas Abdin on Twitter, and we had a quick conversation about different stuff that's going on with him and how he's trying to pursue this with CBS in terms of legal stuff. And I did want to go ahead and share a quick excerpt from him because I want you guys to understand that this is not just some BS story that is not affecting anybody. This is affecting a guy who's been working on this for a really long time. So I'm going to read this quick conversation I had with him. It says, "That's my main concern. I've been working alone on tardigrades for 4 years, drawing, animations, music, coding, with a full-time job and 2 old sick parents needing full healthcare caregiving. So you can imagine how much love and time I've invested on this." That's it right there. This guy has been using his own free time to go ahead and create a game that he is inspired about, that he really loves, that he wants to see created and made, and to see that his love child, his tardigrade love child, be kind of bastardized onto Star Trek Discovery's main screen without any kind of recognition whatsoever is extremely frustrating. So you can understand why it is he's in that position and why it is I'm even bothering to say anything about it, because as a content creator myself, to see that kind of information just be ripped away from you and have no information being shared out about the hard work that he put into it is just disrespectful and I think rude. What I also find kind of suspect as well, and adds to the more damning nature of what Star Trek Discovery / CBS is doing, is apparently some folks that have worked with this indie developer have been posting this question about the similarities between the game Tardigrades and the Tardigrade we see in Star Trek Discovery, and their posts have been being deleted by their Facebook forum admins within just a couple of minutes. So you're not going to be able to actually see anything on their Facebook page with people actually raising up awareness for this. So that just seems like now they're trying to hide something that they've done wrong, or maybe they don't have an official response yet, so they don't want to deal with it, but it's also very, very suspect. So this situation was also reviewed by a YouTuber named Mundane Matt, who first saw this kind of blog post here and did his own report about it. I'll link that down in the video description below. I did watch it, and he's kind of making a lot of the same comparisons that I'm making right now, and questioning a lot of the I guess legalities and creative similarities between Star Trek Discovery Spore Drive and this game called Tardigrades. To be honest, you know, that's really all that's out there right now. It just seems heavily coincidental between what this guy announced in 2014 to what we're seeing right now in 2017 for Star Trek Discovery. It's a little weird. My final thoughts on this is, I mean, yeah, I feel like they jacked up this guy's intellectual property. I feel like they stole his ideas. Again, tardigrades have been around for a long time, so utilizing the term tardigrade or the idea of a tardigrade is not, that's not, you know, that's not copyrightable, I think. But the fact that both intellectual properties are using the giant blue tardigrades for the purposes of intergalactic space travel at the super fast speeds, and they have similar visual styles when they activate, I just feel like that's too much of a damned coincidence. Yeah, Star Trek Discovery uses that weird machine where it like stabs it in the thing and it's like hurting it and all that shit like that. And this one seems to be kind of like the tardigrade like envelops the guy and then activates itself, you know, like internally. But you know, it just seems too weird to me. It seems too weird. Anyways, guys and gals, that's my thoughts on this particular little controversy that's brewing. I am really curious to hear what all of you guys and gals think about this. Do you think it's just a similarity and that maybe this is, you know, just the only way to really represent a tardigrade in science fiction? Or do you feel like the Star Trek Discovery writers and creative team have essentially ripped off this guy's ideas, whether it be intentionally or non-intentionally? And do you think that CBS should do a response to this? Do you feel like they should address this thing or just let it go and pretend like it never happened? I'm really curious to hear what you guys and gals think. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please throw a like and a subscribe up on YouTube. Please follow me on Twitter at RealKetwolski, and follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/RealKetwolski. And I will see all of you guys and gals next time. Live long and prosper, my Trekkies!